Pally, I'm Anushka Sharma. Today is Thursday, May 23rd, 2018, and InFocus starts right now. Finals are coming up and we have the schedule. We look more into the State Department's health warning in today's installment of World News, and an exciting event hosted by the Teen Arts Council is coming up this week. All that and more coming up with today's show. Let's get started with our campus bulletin. The link for the meeting is today during lunch in the MAC, and all applicants should attend this meeting. The last day to turn in a request form for work permits is this Friday, May 25th, no later than lunchtime, and students should keep in mind that there is a minimum of a week turn-in around processing time. There will be a person in to process the permits at Pally as of June 4th, and this person will be available throughout the summer. They will be located in the main building by the adult school in the Tower building, and students should not go to the district office. The Teen Arts Council is hosting their 4th open mic night of the year. It will be at Mitchell Park Community Center on Friday, May 25th at 7 p.m. Come take a study break or celebrate by the end of school with amazing performances and free food. Next Tuesday and Wednesday, the library and MAC will be open for late night studying. The library will be open until 4, and the MAC will be open from 4 to 8, and food will be served. Don't go anywhere, Pally, InFocus will return after this break.
Have you ever wondered what these 3 garbage bins are for? Me neither, but they're important for the environment. So first, we have compost. Compost is everything food related and any food related paper items.
Up next, we have recycling. In recycling, you can have papers, cans, and thin plastics. An example of something you can recycle is a plastic water bottle. You can get a reusable water bottle instead.
Trash that is not compost or recycling goes in the garbage.
This is how to properly dispose of your trash.
Thank you for disposing of your trash in the right bins, and thanks for keeping Pally clean.
Have you ever wondered?
Moving on now from what's going on around campus to what's happening in the world today. Topping today's headlines. The U.S. State Department issued a health alert after a government employee stationed in China was diagnosed with a mild traumatic brain injury, evoking memories of the series of so-called sonic attacks on American diplomats in Cuba. The U.S. official who was assigned to the southern city of Guangzhou reported subtle and vague but abnormal sensations of sound and pressure. The notification from the department said Washington was not currently aware of any similar situations inside or outside the diplomatic community. The health alert was raised comparisons to the flurry of unexplained incidents in Cuba that prompted the withdrawal of most U.S. personnel from the city of Havana in 2016. In that time, the U.S. called back embassy staff in Cuba after they complained of symptoms like hearing loss, dizziness, visual difficulties, headaches, and fatigue. The cause of those remain a mystery. Facebook chief executive Mark Zuckerberg kicked off the European leg of his apology tour with an apology Tuesday at the European Parliament for various controversies that have battered the social network giant's reputation. Saying in his opening statement, "We haven't done enough to prevent the tools we've built from being used for harm as well." But rather than cool the hard feelings among politicians and regulators across Europe, Zuckerberg's arrival seemed to have inflamed them. The friction is a reminder that even as Facebook appears to weather the Cambridge Analytica scandal, resentment against the company runs deep in Europe. The European Union and its 28 members have taken a far more aggressive posture toward regulating U.S. tech giants in recent years compared to their U.S. counterparts. Arizona and New Orleans will be hosting Super Bowls again, and Nashville will be hosting the NFL Draft for the first time. The league announced yesterday the 2023 Super Bowl will be held at the University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, and the 2024 game will be held at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Although those are a ways away, the Super Bowls from 2019 to 22 will be held in Atlanta, Miami, Tampa Bay, and Los Angeles. The 2024 game will be a stadium record 8th time the Super Bowl will be held at the Superdome. It will be the 11th Super Bowl for the New Orleans. With finals coming up, the schedules will be different. Noah Matloff is on location with more.
As summer break gets closer, finals are as well. Next week, there is no school on Monday for Memorial Day. Finals will be on Tuesday, starting with 2nd, 4th, and 6th period from 8:15 to 3:25. On Wednesday, 1st and 5th period will have finals from 9:15 to 2 p.m. And on Thursday, there will be finals for 3rd period and 7th period from 9:15 to 2 p.m. The last day of school, Friday, is the minimum day, and we'll have all 7 periods. That's all for me. Back to you in the studio.
The Brooklyn Bridge opens today in 1883. Let's talk about that in today's edition of Today in History. After 14 years and 27 deaths while being constructed, the Brooklyn Bridge over the East River is opened, connecting the great cities of New York and Brooklyn for the first time in history. Thousands of residents of Brooklyn and Manhattan Island turn out to witness the dedication ceremony, which was presided over by President Chester A. Arthur and New York Governor Grover Cleveland. Designed by the late John A. Roebling, the Brooklyn Bridge and its unprecedented length with 2 stately towers was dubbed the 8th wonder of the world. The connection it provided between the massive population centers of Brooklyn and Manhattan changed the course of New York City forever. In 1888, the city of Brooklyn formally merged with New York City, Staten Island, and a few farm towns forming the greater New York City. InFocus will be right back after this break.
As you all know, we've been filling up our atmosphere with carbon dioxide, and many people don't know how this actually affects the ocean. Essentially, the ocean absorbs 50% of the carbon we emit into the atmosphere, acting as a carbon sink. When the CO2 is absorbed, it has a chemical reaction with the water, which results in carbonic acid, which in turn lowers the ocean's pH. Aquatic life is very sensitive to acidity changes of the water they live in, so acidification has huge impacts on the overall well-being of the ocean. For example, smaller organisms such as clams have to spend more energy making their shells and in turn have less energy to find food. That means it's harder to grow and more will die off before they get big, so the fish that eat the clams or live along the coral reefs will have a harder time surviving, which means that the fish who dine on them won't have enough to eat, which means then that we won't have enough to eat. You can do your part in minimizing your carbon footprint by carpooling, buying locally grown products, using less plastic, and eating less red meat. Thank you.
Now it's time to find out who our birthday boys and girls are for today. InFocus wishes a very happy birthday to Erkan Gogek, Annie Neathammer, Alistair Corrett, Bradley Roge, William Statler, Katya Yani Rahman, Helen Hassan, Trisha Razdan, Anusha Sarkar, and Yi Jae Tsai. Well, that does it for today's episode. Be sure to visit our website to check out old episodes, check the bulletin, or send us an email. Until next time, have a great day, Pally.